Welcome back to Captain America and Super Soldier. So anyway, let's proceed to sabotage more of the, AA cannon.
Goodness.
I thought you meant. I thought you said AA cannon. I thought you meant that we were going to sabotage Avengers Assemble or something.
I thought you were actually going to say batteries because AA. But here's the thing: you may notice where you go. Like these, sometimes objects, destroying particular objects, allow you to progress through some set of challenges. These are the things that allow you to unlock extras in the game, and these ranges from pretty much doing anything. They're easily grindable, and the game is very merciful in not locking you out of anything. Like you can go back to different areas, even in the late game, before facing the final boss, and catching up to everything with pretty much calm. And like I said, it also later gives you a sort of fast transportation hub system. It's gonna make more sense in context.
Locate the industrial yards that lead to motor pool. Poing.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think I mentioned this in 4, but the cool thing that this game manages to do over the others is with the sound design, not just with the music, but through the sound effect. When Captain America not just throws, but uses his shield, you feel every single impact that it does, even every single twang that the metal of the shield, impacts on another enemy, and it depends on the different sources upon which you throw a punch, or throw the shield properly. So the people at Next Level Games understood how to make the game, the combat, rewarding. Not just in the gameplay variety, but in how effective Cap is. Anyway, let's try to take down this gunner.
Yeah, I just thought of something.
Yes, go ahead.
Ransom, Chris Evans' character from Knives Out. I wonder if every night when he goes to sleep, he dreams of being someone like Captain America, where he's such an obnoxious douchebag that he just physically can't be like that guy at all. So
ultimate Captain America then.
So in public he presents himself as this obnoxious douchebag. But whenever he goes to bed, he cries himself to sleep because he knows he can never be as charming as Captain America.
Yep, definitely ultimate Captain America.
It's weird. I thought you were going to reference Johnny Blaze, actually.
No, I think Knives Out is a better example because Chris Evans in that movie plays an even bigger arsehole than Johnny Storm was.
Speaking of Johnny Storm, did you know that Fan Stick recently got added to Disney+?
Also, Dark Phoenix I think was available before Fan Stick, but yeah, Fan Stick has been added recently by the time of this recording.
Well, Jova,
it's on Netflix.
Well, Jova, movies like Last Airbender and the Fan Stick are great in terms of notoriety for YouTube reviews and shit like that. So movie companies do know that even movies like these, there is a demand for them to be available anyway.
Alright, here's the cool thing. Cap can also use, despite Cap cannot use guns properly in this game because, it just prefers to throw a punch unless he does a specific command towards enemies. But, as you may have seen, he can use turret sections, that ranges from grenade launchers to missile launchers to blow enemies to bits in all kinds of fashion. And it's actually very satisfying.
Not to mention...
No, that just means I unlock the door. But they're gone because I just need to get an extra.
Not to mention, Jova, I'd rather a streaming service add a shitty movie rather than remove a classic movie from circulation.
Fair enough.
I do wonder what you could be referred to.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on, because there you go. One of the collectibles that you can get are sets of, for example, like a virginal statuette in this case, are sets of a particular type of, type of item, like the something belonging to the Zemo family, for example. And those allow you also to unlock extra. Instead, you can also find schematics, aka blueprints. Those literally tell you how an enemy is, those are the blueprints left by the Zola, by Dr. Zola and his henchmen, which basically in turn allows Camp to find ways to exploit your weak points, which translates into usually like they stay stunned for a long time, for a longer time, like in this case. So the game also rewards part of your collectible hunt, in allowing you to be more effective against enemies.
Impresses and repels me. I confess to admiring the skill with which he has manipulated the present political tides to his own advantage. He has acquired backing from the regime in Berlin, while using those resources to build an army loyal only to him. The Order of Hydra. This has enabled him to accomplish much. Perhaps my own reticence to tolerate the presence of my inferiors has held me back in this regard.
So, get this, Zemo, while having to collaborate with Red Skull, actually didn't really approve of his methods. Interesting.
Shows that even Zemo had his limits.
Pretty much, yeah. Like it's interesting what even literal Nazis are even sick of you. Like it reminds also of the classic Batman Captain America crossover where the Joker literally draws his moral standard by the fact that he at the point where he understands that the Red Skull is an actual Nazi.
Yeah, he draws the line there. But that's the thing about...
Which in turn, remember, when Captain America, when they had the whole Hail Hydra moment in the actual comics from Captain America, people were clicking to point out that the Joker had a moral higher ground than Captain fucking America.
Oh, that was a dark day for Captain America fans.
Not not if you loved to create meme templates like me. So.
Oh yes, me too. I got in on that action as well. I mean,
well, good for you, Teo, but I don't particularly care for that. So, what am I supposed to get from this?
Yeah.
Whatever you can, basically.
And yet somehow they managed to make that line actually.
You learn eventually to find solace in whatever you can grasp.
Well, I find solace in the MCU, at least.
Oh, yeah.
But there you have it, then. Anyway, there you go. There are these particular moments where, despite not being mandated by the story, you can destroy a gun by placing an explosive and get away in time. Yeah, there you go. And it will net you a lot more experience points, So basically, if you manage to find one, usually the way the map is constructed allows you to spot one. If you manage to find one and destroy it, try to do it as soon as you can, so you can unlock more skills faster.
Good stuff.
Alright, let's see.
That should be easy to get to.
Not really. The place is monitored, sorry.
Sarcasm
remember, the reason why Cap is here is basically to sabotage the most of what he can of the Hydra operations.
Hold on. I'm just rating your sarcasm detection skills. There will be a test.
I just threw your shield. There you go. I just really shielded you. Seriously, they didn't react the first time. But yeah, one of the more satisfying things is to hit an explosive object and cause a chain reaction that makes literally everything explode.
Very satisfying.
It's a bit taxing on the frame rate, but it still does bring satisfaction, so...
I'll allow it, just for the sake of awesomeness. At least it's not, a constant like certain other games.
Like Deck 4, yeah.
Or Mighty Number 9.
Honestly, didn't even mods manage to fix the frame rate for the PC version? Ouch.
I don't know if there were even mods for Mighty Number 9 because
I'm pretty sure they may have been possible. I don't know.
Oh yes, they're possible, but I don't think anyone really did it because, well, not many people really cared about Mighty Number 9 upon its release.
Upon its release, sometimes it's past the Jova. Maybe someone, with way too much free time actually found the willingness to do something. I don't know.
Let me check. Let's see.
Honestly, that's the thing.
Oh, nope. No mod support.
But I'm not talking about that, you know, Jova. Remember, just because a game doesn't have like official mod support, that doesn't stop people.
No. I mean, as in, not even from fans. Like,
I'm
literally checking out a Reddit post that was back in 2018, and reportedly no mods from the fans. Now, there was a fan mod for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which gave X a look similar to Beck. But as for Mighty Number 9, the game itself, no. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh wait. There was a mod for Mega Man 11 which gave it Mighty Number 9 music. But again.
Okay. I guess.
There you go. There's something, I guess.
Oh, okay. Let me check ModDB for Mighty Number 9 to see if there's... Nope! Nothing! That's pretty much the official modding site. There is nothing for Mighty Number 9. Wow.
Well, that's a thing too. There's more urgent matters that the mod community could potentially do, like maybe
fixing the latest Bethesda game.
Or that too, yeah. Or maybe get Durante to maybe try to do a better DP fix than the new one. But basically, to give you an idea, the PC port of Deadly Premonition Director's Cut is so fucked beyond belief that even Durante couldn't fix it.
Oh my god, if even he says that he doesn't want to touch it, that's really problematic.
No, that's the thing, Teo. He did touch it. He did make a fix for it called DP Fix, but it fixed some things, but the game is still choppy as fuck. And crashes all the time.
Yeah, that speaks of the magnitude of how baffling the code may be.
I'm sorry, which game were you guys talking about?
The PC port of the Premonition Director's Cut.
Ooh. Oh god, even I heard
it's infamous for being the most unoptimized PC game since, I don't know, fucking Big Rigs. Like, no, I'm not even kidding. The game crashes all the time. Like, to give you an idea, Jova, it's inconsistent as fuck. Like, some people can run it fine, other people can't even boot it without it crashing. The game is so poorly optimized and poorly coded that the problems aren't even consistent from computer to computer.
Goodness.
Like, basically, Jova, if you ever try to develop permission on your computer, pray that your computer is one of the lucky chosen ones by the gods that can actually run it. That's the basic gist of it.
I mean, I'd heard some stories of it, but I didn't know it was that bad. Dang.
It is. You can check Ikokuri Media's Deadly Premonition retrospective. He reviewed all the ports of the game, and there's an entire section dedicated to that PC port.
So there you have it, folks. Mighty Number 9, a game that couldn't get a single fan mod for it. That's it's pretty bad.
Well, at least the PC version of that game actually boots.
I guess. Although it can occasionally crash and make you lose a save file, as did happen to me.
Well, at least it doesn't destroy your PC like it happened with the Wii U version instead.
Fair enough.
If the forces of Hydra were to continue to be tolerated,
I wonder what's worse: Mighty Number 9 not getting a single fan mod, or Time and Eternity having only one piece of fan art.
Mighty Number 9, at least it's known in some capacity. Even by reputation. Time and Eternity is just forgotten.
Work suspended. The man himself assigned to research.
Alright then.
Okay.
There's not much work. There's not much value from that game anyway. So.
Yeah.
Which specific one of the two dweebs?
Time and Eternity.
True, dweebs, but I do believe memory preservation is still important regardless of the quality of a product.
Like, in some ways, almost everything deserves to be remembered, but to a certain scale, mind you.
Yeah, shitty medias still deserve to be remembered, even just to teach a lesson of some kind, you know?
I'm perfectly okay. I perfectly agree with you, Teo, when it comes to. However, before Namco Bandai forced Time and Eternity to PC, it's about time we get an HD remaster of fucking Tales of Abyss.
Oh yeah, where is that?
Tales of the Abyss, Jova was a PS2 exclusive back in the day. It got a very mediocre, bare bones 3DS port. It doesn't even look as good as the PS2 version.
What is that? I actually have it, and the frame rate is unbearable there too.
So basically, well, no, the best version is in the PS. The PS2 frame rate is fine. The 3DS version, however,
it also the PS2 version never went. The PS2 version was never released in Europe as well because it was still in the time where Namco was very stingy about localizing products.
And while you're at it,
it looks good on 3DS.
Keep in mind what Namco Bandai is currently doing with the Tales of franchise is a bit weird. They do have technically a new title working, but part of the classic team is actually working on their new IP, Scarlet Nexus, you know. And then there's the barrage of mobile game after mobile game that they did, and not even like a consistent one. While they were always at the idea of a gacha type of game, they were always trying to, you know, they always had the idea of throwing shit at a wall and see what sticks. And none of them has stuck so far because Namco had this mentality of if the mobile game did not work for like this couple of months, we'll shut it down and start working on a new one.
How nice.
And this cycle has been perpetuated for a long time now.
And while you're at it, Bamco, make a little collection of the free PS3 Tales of games while you're at it. Because I mean, Bamco has been very quite a slouch when it comes to re-releasing their back catalog and Tales games at least.
Now, what about Tales of Symphonia, which, from what I hear, is apparently the series darling with a lot of people.
The HD remaster is fine as long as you play it on the PS3. Don't bother with the PC port.
Which was done, ironically enough, by Aberration, the guy who did the medieval remake.
Unfortunately, the HD remaster of its sequel is still a PS3 exclusive.
I don't wonder if the suckiness of the PC port of the first Symphony is what discouraged Namco to continue. You know, the re-releases in Vesperia was there just for the anniversary celebration, or because maybe Microsoft tapped a bit on their shoulders.
That wouldn't surprise me because. Yeah, so basically they've decided to take the Nintendo approach. Like, the first time it didn't work, therefore a second attempt cannot possibly work. Let's just quit.
Well,
yeah, let's just leave it to rot in the dustbin for 10 years.
Keep in mind, other franchises.
To be fair, Nintendo aren't like that with all of their franchises. They're just with that with certain ones, and even still, they have been working to bring them back in some way, shape, or form here and there. Now, I'd say that that's probably better attributed
Fox Zero turned out well.
Oh, yeah. The Starlink game with Star Fox, yeah. I'd say if you want to go with the whole, oh, it didn't work, let's toss it out here, that's something you attribute more to Disney.
But no, keep in mind that Namco Bandai also has this kind of mentality with pretty much all of its franchises, because, for example, the Tekken story, the story bit for Tekken, you know, unless if you actually like watch a video on YouTube, the new games do not recap that much over it. 7 does a bit of recap of more recent events, but you do need the previous knowledge to go on. Soul Calibur tried to do some also great camera angle. Soul Calibur tried something cute with 6 being a soft reboot, so you didn't need that much. But it still would have been nice to keep in mind the way the story of Soul Calibur 5 went. It's best to be forgotten because it's just that awful.
Can't get it open.
It's easy, Cap. Just bust it. Or I guess you can go for the other side.
You haven't even tried to open it yet.
Nope, sorry, Dweebs. Just can't get through.
Captain America, he gives up without even trying.
But
what a great hero.
Then there's the fact that, for example, Xenosaga was supposed to, people were interested in Xenosaga to receive a proper, HD trilogy. mostly because the games were not released, properly in Europe almost at all, and the American versions were victims of some censorship. But Katsuhiro Hara recently came out and said that the Arabs at Banco are not really interested in doing it because of potential loss in sales, which I guess it's a good reason. It's just a sad reality at the end of the day,
Well, that's the thing, though. Sega was sitting on their old IP. They licensed them out, so there's less financial risk on their part.
No, I know. Well, keep in mind, Bandai Namco is a company that works.
They're kind of
they have an old mentality. Katsuhiro Hara is like the hip new guy that tries to keep them in check.
Basically, Droops, Namco Bandai's mentality is more of a I'll do it myself sort of mentality. Even if that means that a lot of my IPs will have to stay in the closet, dry up, and shrivel up to the point where I forget about them.
Alright, let's try to align in 3. Come on. There you go.
Whew.
Barely made it. Okay then. But what Liv said, he rings true partially on something like, I still am, there still may be the possibility that in either near or, later future, Bandai Namco can start actually, improving with giving some of their ports, some ports of these kind of games. But at least that's the situation for the current time. Anyway, let's see what the enemy that we faced, for example, in tutorial is.
To increase survival rates during initial swarming charges, my foot soldiers will require long-range support.
Oh, so you do need counter turret.
I think he had to modify his plans after Captain America foiled a few more.
If you don't remember, this weapon actually shows up in the Avengers movie.
Superheated plasma so powerful that it vaporizes the air around it, creating a nearly perfect...
You don't actually see being used in action, but the physical appearance is the one that that shows up on the helicarrier during the briefing.
A rocket-propelled grenade launcher has been fitted to the weapon. For long-term use of this heavy equipment in the field, dramatic genetic strength enhancement proved necessary.
Because we need to get them ripped.
The alterations have had some unexpected side effects.
Really?
The subjects are prone to violent psychosis and sadistic urges.
Oh.
Oh well.
Of course, these personality flaws are of little concern in non-lethal.
What a charming person Mr. Zola is.
Well, you know what they say. Technology marches on.
Pity attitudes, don't.
But yeah, basically, like I said, these reels also help you, teaches you how to properly.
Lieutenants, including one young fellow who also claims to be.
Yeah, this is actually Zemo hinting you at some of the lieutenants.
About like a common domestic, and the woman.
Oh.
If the baronesses who once lived here could see her mannish affectations and scandalous attire.
Oh.
Most unorthodox.
I tolerate this duo's presence only with difficulty. Should they vex me, they will pay the price.
Okay then. But yeah, one cool thing that the reel tells you is potentially what you should expect by the enemy attacks. In this case, with the Scorcher enemy, it says that he has 2 types of attacks, either the flamethrower for the long range, but also a grenade launcher, for potentially more closer, to be when you get actually close and personal. So it teaches you what kind of attacks you should expect, and how to potentially counter it. Because performing a proper counter mid close quarter combat is a bit different than performing, a shield bash that allows you to repel a projectiles, from a range enemy. Anyway, things were done in this area, so I think we need to exit this after I collected all the dossier. I love how Hydra even gives symbol-themed, lockers with the Hydra logo on them.
Huh. That's Marketing.
But yeah, one thing that yeah, you may notice is the fact that the area around the castle has been mined a lot. Like the Hydra agents have been, the other soldiers have been digging constantly all around the place. But for what end? Yeah, another thing, performing a correctly timing action in this particular section will allow you also to dodge automatically projectiles when snipers are on the lookout. The good news is that since the snipers are are good at long range, they compensate that by being more fragile, meaning that as soon as you get to them, one punch is enough to kick them. There we go. Hello. So Dweebs, have you actually played something made by Next Level Games like Luigi's Mansion 2?
No.
For the record, that's the European title, but it's not called Dark Moon here.
I've played quite a lot of their games.
If I recall, you played the Punch-Out for the Wii, right?
That too. I've also played this. They also did make a couple sports games. I forgot which specific ones, but I remember they worked on a Mario Tennis game at some point.
I'm checking.
So, but no, they have a long history with Nintendo, even before even before they stopped working with other companies altogether.
Like I said, they also did develop a couple of Wii ports of existing games beforehand, so there's that too. There you go, Mario Strikers 1 and Charged.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, they made Mario Strikers. Yeah.
Yeah, the football/soccer games. The one again, the one where Waluigi, does a victory lap by pointing at his crotch.
Yes.
Another thing that that differentiates the minor collectibles from the more important one is that stuff like the dossier is sort of randomly generated through the level. It's a bit complicated by, unlike the proper collectibles like the eggs or the specific object like the virgin statues, the minor objects like the dossier are not properly placed on your map. But if you exit and then you enter an area, you may find a couple more of them in different spots. So the game allows you to grind a bit more extra minor experience, and not just from combat, on a sort of repeated use. So it is a nice way to implement an experience farming method that allows you to not having to do combat 100% of the time. The supposed downside is that again they're not properly signed on your map, meaning that you have to just search for them anyway. But it's that's what you're doing anyway, exploration and all. Home.
Out in country, if these reach the front lines, they'll cut our boys to pieces. Gotta destroy it all, but fast.
Gotta destroy fast.
Igniting a few ammo caches should blow this place sky high.
Steve, are you sure?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that'll destroy something fast.
Oh, I know, but enemy crates do not make big explosion. I thought like these barrels will help a bit more. All right, let's see if it works.
That should do it. Gotta get out fast.
Oh, and I have 30 seconds to get out.
And now you actually have to go fast.
Well, Cap's costume is partially blue, so why not?
So it seems.
Well, most of it is blue, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, for this particular bit, try to ignore the enemies because, as you can see, we don't really have much time. Come on, move! There we go. Well, I guess it did work, so.
That was close.
Alright, and that was just actually to get to the AA cannon I think we need to destroy. Oh.
This facility is hunting you. Pray
Uh-huh. Sure.
Good to know.
But yeah, that was just to get to the cannon we need to destroy. There you go. Now I'm just taking a bit of a deviation just to get to that collectibles, but then we should be actually on the way. Because we're actually almost close also to the first major boss fight of the game. One thing that the Arkham games sadly could not manage to keep on a consistent level were actually the boss fights. Don't get me wrong, I don't think they're like atrocious or anything, but it showcased that Rocksteady was not, at least at first, not too experienced. And for the first game, it was mostly giant bosses like Bull Rush that you need to make them slam onto a wall before hitting them. The only variety that I can think of was Poison Ivy, and that was just a bit of a variation. The second game actually has Arkham City actually does have a decent amount of variety. Arkham Knight is don't get me wrong. Arkham Knight does have variety in its boss fight. It's just, I guess, due to plot significance in how they're inserted into. You're probably may not be actually very invested into handling them.
I can pretty much sum up Arkham Knight comparing it to, hell, even Arkham Origins.
Talking just about the boss fight, Joe.
Yes, it's a boss fight. 1 step forward, 3 steps back. On the one hand, we do get some kind of unique bosses. Here's the problem. You know a lot of those villains that were hyped up to be boss encounters? Yeah, most of them are mainly just glorified moots. Some you don't even fight and literally just take down in a cutscene. Hell, some are literally side quest fodder who you just chase around to catch up. And Deathstroke, freaking Deathstroke, who had an awesome hand-to-hand combat fight
in Origins, what game that Rocksteady did not even develop.
Yeah, he's pretty much downgraded.
Rocksteady stopped developing them. Yeah,
he's pretty much downgraded to a tank fight in Arkham Knight. And mind you, this is after he's apparently the patsy replacement for the Arkham Knight after certain story scenes happen.
I never understood why Rocksteady stopped developing the games after City.
Actually, they were the one developing Knight.
Okay.
Oh,
Here's
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
They're the ones who made Knight.
So Knight was the last one then. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the point. It's been practically 5 years, but they've been almost complete silence. We haven't said anything about what we're doing next.
Basically, Pedro, in the background, they were making Knight all along. Origins was just made to tide the crowd over. And you know what's sad? I'm gonna say it. Origins is better than Knight in boss fight story.
It's more of a well. Keep in mind, Jova, when it was released, not many people really cared about it. Not in the sense that we hated it, but we thought it was just more of the same of City, just with more less polish.
And yet, ironically, now that Arkham Knight is out,
it was kind of a thing of being vindicated by history, I guess. But no, it's kind of ironic that the only game that wasn't properly developed by Rocksteady is the one that probably has the better boss fights. Anyway, that was only mostly to tell that the boss fight. I do believe that the boss fights in this game are a bit better, but we'll see actually a sample of it, where in the next part we actually confront Baron von Strucker. So see you for that.
See ya.